Hello, church. My name is Joe Petronas, and I'm thankful to be a part of your 40 Days of Compassion study here. Today I'll be going over Psalm 25, verse 6, New Living Translation. Remember, O Lord, your compassion and unfailing love, which you have shown from long ages past. So when I take that verse by itself there, it just gives you a small piece of what David's asking for in the psalm. So I'm going to go ahead and read the whole psalm for you guys. This is Psalm 25, a psalm of David. O Lord, I give my life to you. I trust in you, my God. Do not let me be disgraced, or let my enemies rejoice in my defeat. No one who trusts in you will ever be disgraced, but disgrace comes to those who try to deceive others. Show me the right path, O Lord. Point out the road for me to follow. Lead me by your truth and teach me, for you are a God who saves me. All day long I put my hope in you. Remember, O Lord, your compassion and unfailing love, which you have shown from long ages past. Do not remember the rebellious sins of my youth. Remember me in the light of your unfailing love, for you are merciful, O Lord. The Lord is good and does what's right. He shows the proper path to those who go astray. He leads the humble in doing right, teaches them his way. The Lord leads with unfailing love and faithfulness to all who keep his covenants and obey his demands. For the honor of your name, O Lord, forgive my many, many sins. Who are those who fear the Lord? He will show them the path they choose. They will live in prosperity. Their children will inherit the land. The Lord is a friend to those who fear him. He teaches them his covenants. My eyes are always on the Lord, for he rescues me from my traps and my enemies. Turn to me and have great mercy. For I am alone and in deep distress. My problems go from bad to worse. Oh, save me from them all. Feel my pain and see my trouble. Forgive my sins. See how many enemies I have and how they viciously hate me. Protect me. Rescue my life from them. Do not let me be disgraced, for in you I take refuge. May integrity, honesty protect me, for I put my hope in you. O God, ransom Israel from all its troubles. So as you can see from me reading through that whole verse, there's quite a lot there with what David's crying out and praying to the Lord. One of the reasons why I chose this verse is because David was truly a man after God's own heart. He could be repeatedly found in Scripture crying out to the Lord for strength and wisdom and courage to deal with his struggles. As we know through Scripture, though, David was clearly a man like us who was not free from sin, but he continuously sought out righteousness through the direction of the Lord through praise, worship, and prayer. He displayed his courage and strength obtained through the Lord to defeat the giant Goliath of the Philistine army, and he rose to be one of the greatest kings of Israel. He displayed great compassion and forgiveness for his enemies, even sparing King Saul's life when he could have easily killed him. He also displayed compassion and kept his promise to Jonathan, the son of King Saul, to bless his descendants, as we could see in 2 Samuel chapter 9. By seeking out King Saul and Jonathan's last known living descendant, Mephibosheth, Jonathan's son, he summoned a man named Ziba, one of King Saul's servants, and asked him if anyone in Saul's family was still alive, as he wished to show them God's kindness. Ziba informed King David that Jonathan's son Mephibosheth, a cripple, was alive and living in Lodabar. In that time, no one thought much of crippled or disabled people, and Lodabar was not the most desirable place to live in. So King David summoned for Mephibosheth, and he gave him the land and everything that belonged to King Saul, and instructed Ziba and his sons to farm the land and produce food for his master's household. As for Mephibosheth, he granted him a place at King David's table, and Mephibosheth regularly ate there and lived in Jerusalem, just like one of King David's own sons. So, one of the reasons why I like reading the Psalms of David is because, as we know through Scripture, David, he cried out to the Lord. He sought the Lord for strength. But one of the things about him is he lived out the Lord's command by example, by the way he acted. He showed, he kept his promise to Jonathan and blessed Jonathan's last known family member, and granted him King Saul's land, and even gave him a place at his own table. One of the parallel verses here that I picked up, that David, might have been crying out to the Lord to remember the promises, like when in Exodus 14, when God used Moses to lead his people from slavery in Egypt, by parting the Red Sea, and once the Israelites got to the other side, God closed that Red Sea, and it devoured the Egyptians who were pursuing in their chariots that the Pharaoh had sent to pursue the Israelites. So thank you guys for letting me be a part of your study, and God bless you, and hopefully see you soon.